Hi everyone, so my name is Eve Hajjar and this is my presentation. So first we're going to be talking about my research question, and then we're going to get into some of the interview questions I asked, and then my source materials and notes. So first, my research question, which is how do factors such as income and race/ethnicity influence how an individual is treated in the healthcare system? So I chose this research question because my major is public health and I plan on being a physician assistant in the future. So I will be working in healthcare. And then also another reason is because this is like a huge problem in the healthcare system, like injustices within races and different kinds of people. So I thought it was a good question to address. So, my interview questions are all those on the screen. I'm not going to say all of them just because that would take a lot of time, but the one that stood out the most to me is when I asked a physician assistant that works in my office that I currently work at if she thinks all patients get the same level of care. And she told me no, because it does depend on where a person lives, their access to healthcare, and also some physicians just are rude and they discriminate against certain kinds of people based on their assumptions of who they think the person is. And it's not fair and it's not right. But she helped me gain a lot of insight on the public health field and also just healthcare in general and how the system is a little bit broken and everything like that. She helped me kind of narrow down my searches like within like what I was looking for. So next, these are my Cornell notes, and they're color coded and everything like that. I really enjoyed doing Cornell notes because it helped me go into depth with my websites. It just forced me to go a little bit deeper into certain things that I wouldn't normally go upon. And also, what I noticed is a lot of the information within the Cornell notes and just the websites in general is that everything is very similar, and that there isn't that much information as you would think on such a huge issue. But I did organize it based on colors again. So, like red was key terms, contributing factors is blue, quotes is purple, and then key points is orange. And this just helped me keep everything kind of organized and just kind of helped me like make similarities and differences between my articles. And I really thought this was a good way to separate all my information. And then from the Cornell notes, I made my synthesis map and all the information that I gathered from my Cornell notes helped me to make what are the factors that contribute to unfair healthcare. And I came up to 4 kinds of reasons, which is race, income, accessibility, and treatment. So basically with accessibility is some patients just don't have another kind of option and they have to go to kind of the worst kind of healthcare systems, as bad as that sounds, just because they can't afford it, they can't afford to go somewhere else, so they're just kind of stuck with that. And then race, a lot of people are still racist, and people actually tend to assume that certain races can handle certain amounts of pain or they're being dramatic or something, which is very awful to think about, but which is very true. And then income, which people with lower income are usually treated differently because a lot of physician places think that they can't afford the treatments that they're getting or whatever the kind of situation is. So they are treated unfairly because of that. And then treatment in general is just some physicians just they don't want to be good to that kind of person. They make false assumptions. So that kind of one just ties in all the 3 other factors together. And it just, people could just assume that certain kinds of people can handle certain things, which is 100% wrong. And everybody should be listened to and treated fairly based on their symptoms. And then in conclusion, a problem is no one wants to make this first step to change. Everybody kind of is comfortable with the way that the system is, and nobody wants to just shake the bush a little bit around because also no one's going to openly address that there is a huge problem with the system. And then also, a lot of people are in denial because they don't want to admit that there is a problem within the system. They just kind of go about their day normally. Again, they don't want to address anything. They don't want to. And then my rhetorical question, which is my analysis, do you want to be part of the change? Because we are the next generation. And I think as someone who is going to work in the healthcare field, that this is such an important issue and that everybody should be aware and treated fairly, because you don't want to be the one in the operating room treated differently because of what's in your pockets or how you look. Thank you. And I hope you learned something.